For this week's Smith Business Close-Up, we are on location at the University of Maryland, and joining us is Professor Gerald Suarez, who is the Professor of the Practice in Systems Thinking and Design. Professor, thanks for being with us.
Glad to be here.
We're looking forward to talking about management, and you have a new book on the topic titled Leader of One, Shaping Your Future Through Imagination and Design. What does that mean, Leader of One?
Well, it's a realization that leadership is really not defined by titles or rank. Because I go to many organizations and many people say, I wish I were in charge and take care of things. And I suggest that we can influence things from where we are. Leadership in its most basic sense is about shaping the future. It's about influencing. It's about creating a new reality. And I believe that each of us is accountable for taking action from where we are and influencing the future.
Do some organizations better than others allow that to flourish versus restricting it, a more hierarchical kind of organization?
Some cultures are more receptive to the notion of empowering people to act from the position they're in. But I also believe that it is our responsibility and our commitment should be to influence, that culture and be proactive about it, because the future doesn't respond to titles, it responds to action.
Am I hearing correctly that leadership is something that is taken to a degree as opposed to given?
Well, leadership is...
You make yourself a leader, in other words?
Leadership is about interacting with others, is about influencing others, is about using our imagination to connect with something that we want to create and influencing the cause or the purpose that we believe in. So along the way, as we are passionate, if we are passionate about it, we are going to certainly influence others and ourselves in the process.
How did your thinking on this develop? Has it evolved at all over the years?
I think it was a result of my interactions with executives and people I coach and students. And as I visit many organizations, I often hear, somebody should do something about it. And I always thought about that, and I ask, why aren't you doing something about it if you have the awareness? And I suggest in the book that you are as somebody as anybody. Go ahead and take action.
You've worked in the public sector, in the White House, private sector. Is it different depending where you are?
Well, the White House is unique in that the stakes are high, the margin of error is thin, the expectations are high, and also that you have incredible amount of resources and presidents can take a big scope of issues. In other organizations, I think it differs a bit in that you have lesser scope. You're not dealing with global national issues that are so sensitive. However, the process is similar because ultimately leadership is about an intent, is about purpose, is about a commitment to create a new reality. One of the lessons at the White House that I learned was that presidents, I worked for two of them, Democrats and Republicans, and at the end of the day, the policies were different, but the purpose was the same. It was not protecting the nation, but a notion that if you play by the rules, if you get your education, if you have a dream, our system will allow us to pursue it. And that's what we protect.
Is there something about this time, this era, that makes it more conducive maybe for individuals to set their own path and become leaders?
I think it's essential. And I say so because I believe that we are losing our way in that we are becoming a society of Twitter attention span, and we are skimming our present instead of sitting down and reflect where do we want to go, what do we want to do. And that's what I proposed in the book. I propose a cycle that allows you, number one, to contemplate and think about deeply, about the issues and the things that you care about. And when I say contemplation, many people say, I'm busy, I have a job to do. What do you mean contemplate? And contemplation is the highest form of activity. But we bypass that because we're reacting to the last Instagram or posting in Facebook, And we are so busy in the present that we no longer know what direction are we going. I think this is essential.
So the takeaway from that is to put down the smartphone for a little while.
I think you have to. Otherwise, you know, imagine you're trying to get somewhere and you cannot program your GPS to a destination that doesn't exist. And here we are driving fast, reacting to the last post. So I say to people, you have got to slow down first. And then we need to reflect. And that's a basis of the first stage in the book, Contemplation.
Very good. Professor Gerald Suarez of the Robert H. Smith School of Business, thank you for being with us.
Glad to be here. Thank you.